It's Alifikayo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the preparation for the entrance exam and interview for nursing internship. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in it in the mighty name of Jesus. I believe that is why you clicked the video to begin with. Let's get right into it. But before that, have you subscribed? So you just want to come and drag water from my well of knowledge and you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on your post notifications as well so that you are aware whenever I post a video. Now let's actually get into the video. I didn't know that people used to write entrance examinations for these things when I was hearing about it. I honestly thought becoming an intern was easy because I thought I had gone through the worst of it all in school. What more? What are you examining me for again? My criteria, I have brought my results, I have finished well, I'm done, I don't need to write this. I didn't think it was a necessity. I didn't even think it was being done until it was my turn and I'm hearing that, oh, they are going to write this exam so day. I was like, what are you doing? And I went for the exam and then they're telling me, oh, they will let people that pass the exam know so that they will come for the interview at another time. I was blown away. Now I wish I was better prepared while going for these exams or interviews, but it's in the past now, and that is why I'm here to prepare you. So I'm here to let you know the kind of questions that they might ask you during the exams and at the interview. Let's get into it. So now for exams, the institution that I wrote exam in, I think it was just purely OBJ. I think there were about 40 questions, right? 40 questions. And I think we had, was it 1 hour? I can't really remember if it was 40 or 60 questions. And we had 1 hour to answer them. And then, you move on. And they'll let you know if you passed or not. They won't even let you know if you didn't pass. They'll just let you know if you passed for you to come for the interview in the next few days. Which I think is a part of the system that is flawed. A lot of them do not get back to you if they don't take you in. They don't even use mails. They don't use calls or texts. It's really sad. It was only 2 institutions out of 7 that I know that they actually got back to me through text message, right? Some they just didn't even get back to you at all. Nothing. Another one, they will be calling you on the phone and be asking you questions. I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be like a formal kind of thing. Send an email, you ask for our email, you ask for our number for a reason. Why are you not using it? But that aside, let's get back to the topic for today. So now you go in for the exam, and in the exam, right, I thought, because I asked around before I went for the exam, I went online to search about that institution, and apparently they even have past questions for their own entrance exam or whatever. But then the past question place online, they were saying that we should pay some money, and I'm not going to pay money for anything. I'm not going to do that. I don't know if you'll be interested in doing that, but you can go online and check if that facility has past questions online. So I didn't buy into that. I just prepared normally based on the information that I had gotten from people before me. So all I was doing was just brushing up on the basics of nursing, because I heard that basically that's the kind of things they will ask you, and all these simple facts about the human body, about the bones, about the muscles, about nursing, the definitions of nursing, theories, things like that. Basic things in nursing, let's just say fundamentals of nursing. Basically, that's what I was prepared for. On getting to the examination hall, these people were really going deep into physiology and anatomy. And I was so lost because I'm like, what is this? If you asked me this question when I was in 200 level, 300 level, I would answer you sharp. But now, bro, and after the time I went for this exam, it was like a month after school. Since I finished school, what's this book? What is that? I was just sleeping and waking up and eating. I was really just enjoying the time of my life. You're not asking me these kind of questions. So I tried my best. I answered as best, to the best of my ability, asking about nerves. The nerves that, kinikon, this particular nerve, this person shows up with signs of this, which nerve is affected. Are you joking with me?
Am I a joke to you?
Now you might know it, but personally I didn't remember it at that point. So but for me the exam was fair. It could have been better because I didn't see the reason why they were asking us anatomy and physiology. It could have been better, but it was okay. And then that was it. We went home, and they told us that they will get back to us in 2 to 3 days about the next step if you made it, right? So then they called around 9 p.m., which was terrible for me because what I was asleep. They're not calling me around 9 p.m. the next day to let me know that the next day I should come for the interview. Now, for the interview, the fortunate aspect of it is I was part of like the last set of people to go in for the interview. So there are people that have gone ahead of us and they've come out and they've told us kind of questions that they were asking. Now there are some interviews where you just have one or two examiners there asking you questions. But for this interview that I went for, it was a whole panel. So there are about 10 to 15 adults, grown-ups, proper grown-ups, professors, the DNS, people like that, arranged in that hall, and then they were bringing us in groups of 6. I think my group was 6 or 8. Can't really recall, but they were bringing us in groups. Although I've heard that there are some facilities where you go in individually. Now, I don't wish that on anybody. So they brought us in groups of 6. So on entry into the interview hall, they asked for everybody's name, state of origin, and facility, like the school you finished from. So each person is standing up. Oh, I'm Adewale Fikayami. I finished from so school, and I'm from Ogun State. Everybody said that round. So they divided this interview into sections. So there was the nursing aspect, there was current affairs, and then what else? I think it was just majorly those 2 sections, right? Nursing and current affairs. Now, this particular hospital was located in Lagos. So they asked current affairs focused on Lagos and Nigeria as a whole, right? So they asked about nursing now. They just asked about positioning, pain management. When it was my turn, they asked that there was a parent that brought in a child that has tetanus. How would you, as a nurse, educate the mother about the condition, or what kind of health talk would you give the mother about it? So you have to, critical thinking is involved. Don't think that you left your critical thinking in examination hall for school or you're done with it. You need it here. So, and then about 2 people already answered before me. In my mind, I'm like, what more do you want me to say? But when it was my turn, I realized that the 2 people before me had focused on the child. But now I thought about it, that the question was about the health educating the parent. So health educating the parent about the environment, the causative organism, so that she can brush up her environment, so that this kind of thing does not repeat itself, right? And also the treatment regimen that the child is currently on, stuff like that. So basically, and then also reassuring the mother, comforting her, stuff like that. Yeah, so that was the one that I had to answer for. There are some people that had to answer the definitions of nursing. They can just say, define nursing according to Florence Nightingale, define nursing according to whoever else. This person stated this. What was the theory about? Things like that were the kind of questions that they asked about nursing. So while preparing for your interview and your exam, I believe, because I've heard that there are other facilities where for the exam, those were the kind of questions they asked them, but these people, they didn't do that. So it was at the interview level that is asking us these kind of questions. So when they were done with the nursing questions for everybody, they went ahead, they went forward, and then started asking about the state. It was in Lagos, so they're asking about Lagos state, how many local government areas are in Lagos, and how many something developmental areas. I clearly can't remember it at the moment, but I know the local government area value was different from the developmental area value. I think there were 20 local government area or 27, and one was 30 something. So yeah, you need to know the differences. And someone actually made the mistake while we were in the hall, but we all knew it because people that went ahead of us already came out and said that, this is it. So she had already said the wrong value before. She's like, no, sorry, it is this one, right? So yes, that they would ask you about that. And then the current governor of the state, they can ask you about the refineries, they can ask you about the ports in that state, they can ask you about the ports in the whole Nigeria. And then this very vital aspect now is the aspect concerning the hospital itself, the year it was invented. Are you hearing me? Or if there are, let's say this hospital was formerly a general hospital, right? You first know who founded the general hospital first. Now let's say about 10 years later it became a teaching hospital. You need to know the year it changed into a teaching hospital, and if there is a reason to it, you have to know the reason as well. So how many departments are in the hospital? You need to know that. So if there are 20, if there are 10, you need to know the departments at the hospital. You need to know who the what's the word? No, the DNS, HNS. Oh my goodness. You need to know the head of nursing services in that hospital. I think it's HNS, head of nursing services. Yeah, so you need to know the head of nursing services in the hospital. You need to know the head of nursing services in Nigeria. You need to know the one for the state, right? Because I mean, you are a nurse. And then you need to know the chief medical director. I feel like that is basic because it is vital as part of the hospital. So you need to know the chief medical director for the hospital as well. What else did they ask us? So basically I think that is it. Current affairs about the hospital, and then the nursing aspect of it all. So those are the questions that they asked us. Now, after you've known all this, now that they might ask you this kind of thing, another thing I want to say is be calm. Be calm, honestly, because you might know something, and because you're not calm, you would flop it. Like the babe that said the wrong value. She knew the right value. She corrected herself like in a split second. She knew the right value, but she made a mistake, and that was probably because she wasn't calm. And also, when they're asking people questions, you're really thinking, oh my goodness, it's almost my turn. Just pull yourself together and be calm in whatever response you're going to give. And this calmness is also vital because there are some things that, because you're agitated, you know it, but you will not remember. A friend of mine went for an interview at another hospital, right? And when she came out, she was really pissed. She was like that these are things that she knows, right? Even though it's been a while that she has brushed up on these things, she knew them, but because of the agitation, she didn't remember them the moment she was asked. But immediately she stepped out of the exam hall or the interview hall, she remembered. So please be calm. I don't know how else or how best to beg you to be calm, but it is really necessary that you are calm. Because even if you're not calm for the exam hall, if you CBT and you go and mistakenly press submit when you're not done and all of that. And last but not the least, do not put pressure on yourself after this whole thing. Now you know what to do to prepare for the exam and the interview. Don't kill yourself when you're not getting a call back. There are people that have stayed at home for about 6 months post-graduation and they still didn't get an internship slot. Yes, it is that difficult, but at the same time, why pressure yourself? Now, imagine you've been pressuring yourself since the day one you did your convocation, and now you're still at home 6 months after. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be really, really sad. During this thing, there are people that have been home for a year that are just doing their internship when I'm just doing my internship, and these people finished a year before me. So I'm not telling you this to discourage you, but then if you're already beating yourself up about not getting a call back, or you're always agitated about it, that oh my god, I've not gotten a call back, what if, God forbid, but what if you have to stay at home for longer? How many years do you want to spend beating yourself up about the whole issue? All right, so let's not do that to ourselves. I believe we've come to the end of the video. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section, and I would love to respond to it. So without further ado, is there any more without further ado? There's no more without further ado. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Share is very vital, okay? Don't be stingy with this information. Now that you know, send this to your group chats so that everybody can be prepared for these things. All right, and yes, we've come to the end of this video again. Subscribe. I know I said it before, and you did subscribe, But now I'm saying it again. This is your chance to redeem yourself. Subscribe. Don't just see my beautiful face again. Alright, and I'm waiting to see you in my next video. Bye.